His overall record was 47-36. His SWAC record was 37-18. He won the SWAC Eastern Championship 3 times in just his second year as head coach of Alcorn, 2017, 18, and 19. He also won the SWAC co-champions in the Western Division in 2023. Prairie View won the tiebreaker. They went on to play FAMU that year. But he did win the Co-West Championships, and that was his final season at Alcorn State. He came here, of course, in 24. He's won the SWAC Championship 2 times, 2018 and 19, and he was appearance at the Celebration Bowl in 2018 and 2019. All right, without further ado, talk about the process of all what happened yesterday and how this is going to continue to go forward. We're bringing the athletic director, Roman Banks, here to talk to everyone. And again, he'll make a statement. He'll bring on McNair, and then after that, you can ask questions to McNair and Coach Banks.
All right, good morning, good afternoon. Just want to say thanks for everybody for being here. Obviously, this has been, last few days has been a whirlwind, but that's part of our business as we always try to be the standard and set the standard here at Southern University and also in the SWAC conference. Once again, anytime you have to remove a person from leadership is always a tough situation. And we know that Coach Gray's been around here a long time, was successful with Coach Rich. He has had a great career himself. But like I said a couple of days ago, it doesn't mean that you're a bad coach. Sometimes it just means that this situation doesn't fit. And so we know that we've really been struggling as a football team. And the moral of the story in a lot of ways is that you don't want to lose, but you can accept when you lose some games. But it's tough to look at it, and you have to find a solution when you're not feel like you're competing for the entire game. And I think that got us to this point. We know that we have some pretty good talent in the room, in the locker room. Based on last year, we thought that we brought a lot of people back. Coach Graves was here to keep people from transferring, and it looked like it was working very, very, very well because we know about the portal. So we retained a lot of guys. And obviously, I don't get off into preseason picks, but we were picked to be one of the better teams in our league. And to be at this point halfway through the season, that's pretty tough to accept. And so, not there every day in their private space in their locker room to know what the problem is. But we know when we accept head coach's position that it all starts with us. Fortunate enough that we have some tremendous talented coaches on our football staff. And as we were trying to figure out the plan of action, we came to the conclusion to remove Coach Graves and bring in an interim coach because we had a person with a dynamic resume that I felt could get us through this point because he had the experience of being a head coach, make tough decisions. And I literally have seen his teams probably not with the most of talent or the best of talent all time, but a team that fights and wins. And so I think with his wisdom and his leadership the experiences he had before coming here at Alcorn and the success that he has had, and also lead his staff, be able to speak to coaches and get an understanding of the expectation, made this decision at this point that we had to do it so we can get ourselves back competing very hard, showing the pride of Southern, and also for our fans that have expectations. And so we're gonna move forward with Coach McNair as the interim coach to guide us the rest of the season to what I think and he thinks that we have the capabilities of being able to win the rest of our games and definitely being able to compete to the end. And so I will introduce to y'all the interim coach for the rest of the season, Coach McNair.
Great day to be a Jag. You're on the bluff. I just want to thank Coach Banks for giving me the opportunity to come in and fulfill the shoes of the previous head coach, Coach Graves. Not stepping in as an interim, but this is a great opportunity for us and his coaching staff and these young men that we are coaching each and every day to press forward, to finish this season very strong. Just give each other an opportunity to be successful at the end. And just appreciation that the administration really gave me, really thought about me, and to give me this opportunity to come as an interim coach and provide my expertise to the staff and to the football men that we coach each and every day. So I'm going to embrace the opportunity, do the best that I can, put the best foot forward, and press on to finish up very strong here at the end of this season. We've got 5 games left, and we're going to start with FAMU on Saturday for our first opponent during my interim process.
Coach, what was the conversations like with the team after the decision was made and you were named the interim?
Of course, you have players with different looks of things, and when it's time to change coaches and how they felt about Coach Graves, and everybody really embraced him when he was here as a coach, and he did a great job, I thought, as a coach, communicating with the young men that we coach every day. So after having a meeting with them last night, it was very, very good. I felt very, very good with the response that we got from them during the course of practice last night. They was very energized, and we're just going to continue to press on in terms of getting the young men upbeat and what they have to do to win the next ball game come Saturday.
With y'all being 4 games out of first place, I mean, that's a steep hole to climb out of. I mean, what's the main thing that you want to accomplish in these last 5 games?
Really just getting the first one on Saturday. I mean, getting the first win on Saturday. I mean, we can talk about on down the line later, but the biggest thing for us is getting this first one on Saturday against FAMU, and it's going to be a process. Today we're going to be a very intense practice as always, and we're going to make sure that the young men understand what we're trying to do as coaches. Make sure that we put them in the best position to be successful on the field during the course of the week, and of course on Saturday as well. So it'll be very challenging for us, just to make the young men understand that as coaches we're here for them. We're here to get the best out of them, and we're going to treat it that way.
Coach, you played against Southern. You coached against Southern, very successful against Alcorn, at Alcorn against Southern. What made you decide to come to Southern University last year? What was the decision that you made to say, I'm coming to Southern? And was that a shock to you when you did come?
Not really. I had other opportunities to go other places, and Coach Graves, I knew Coach Graves going way back, and we've been friends for a while. And just him to call me and just offer me the opportunity to come here and coach was very exciting to me. I was just sitting at home, and I had other coaches calling me about coming to their place and doing the same thing. But just a glance that I knew Coach Graves, I knew how he coached and what he meant to a program in terms of what he could do to lead a program. But it was a very easy decision for me. And I've coached against Southern so many years, and the choice wasn't hard. I mean, I was very excited about it. Him giving me the opportunity to come here. So when I came here, this wasn't my intent. But like I said, I thank Coach Banks for giving me this opportunity to be an interim coach and just to get this program moving forward in the best way that I can.
Will you call offensive plays?
Yeah, the thing about calling plays is it's a collaborative thing that where offensive coaches get together. We put together a game plan. That's why I've been calling them for the last few games since the Alabama State game. So, and we'll continue to do that. We'll still collaborate with the other assistant coaches in terms of what we need to do game plan wise. and get on the field. We'll make the best decision to move this offense forward. And for us calling offense now, I will have the headsets on.
Do you think y'all made any progress as an offense since you've taken over as play caller?
I've seen several giant steps in terms of what we do. It's just that we shoot ourselves in the foot. We have drives going. This previous game, we had a drive going, and we fumbled. We had another drive going. We got a personal foul. And it's hard for any play caller to go 2nd and 20, 2nd and 21. I don't care what league you're in, 2nd and 21 is a tough decision. Than being in 2nd down and 3 or something like that nature. Now the playbook is open. But being on 2nd down and getting behind the sticks, you know, it's challenging for an offensive play caller to make those calls and put yourself in a situation where you can manage a down situation. But anytime it's 1st and 15, now you're trying to get at least half of it back on the next call. So you could be in a 2nd and medium and a 3rd and whatever it may be. But it's always hard as a play caller. And we look at those things too as well, in terms of what we call it and how we can call it, that maybe we can execute it well.
Yeah, kind of going off that, you being the interim head coach, can we expect any personnel or system changes coming to that offense to kind of get them going?
Well, the biggest thing is, I think they're going. I think that the part when I had a conversation with my quarterbacks yesterday, in my meeting yesterday, and I told them to start with us as quarterback. They start in that room. And that's the biggest thing. We are the guys that with the ball in our hand 100% of the time. And we have to make the best decisions for our offense as possible. And sometimes we don't do that. And they understand what I was trying to talk about yesterday in terms of our meeting, in terms of what we need to do to execute well, and it start with them. It start with them. And they understand that. Both Ashton and Cam, they understand that now. So we just got to get those guys on cue, just to communicate things well. We had a false start that we shouldn't have had. Stuff like that gets you behind the chain. It kind of hamper you a little bit.
Do you feel like these last 5 games will be your audition for the job full time?
Well, the biggest thing is about that. I'm going to put my best foot forward. And wherever the chip lay, they lay. And at the end of the day, it's going to be the administration decision in terms of what they do for us next head coach. But I'm going to put my best foot forward in terms of what I got to do to win these next few ball games that we have left on our schedule. Because that's my job now, to put this team in the best position to win, make sure that the staff is doing what they're supposed to do, and also make sure that the young men, that the young student athletes are doing what they're supposed to do as well.
Is there anything you would like to do differently moving forward?
Yes, win some games. That's going to be the biggest thing we have to do, win some games. I think that will ease everything off. And once you start winning, I know Houston Nutt said it one time when he was at Arkansas, when you're winning, you're having fun. When you're having fun, you're winning. That's something that always stuck to me. I even tell the guys this now in my meeting room. You know, when you're winning, you're having fun. Yeah. When you're having fun, you're winning. So it ties together. So that's the biggest thing. But just moving forward, just making sure these young men understand what they have to do to answer your question in terms of the course of practice and the course of during the process of the game. You know, not making mistakes, executing, you know, being on time for things, not being late. And that's something that Coach Gregg emphasizes all the time. We're just going to press the button a little bit harder.
What about the defensive scheme?
Well, we talked about that during the course of the meeting, you know, staff meeting this morning. It was a conversation, but, you know, as a head coach, it's something that we talked about. You know, I can't elaborate on that here in front of the camera, but it's something that we talked about. We're going to try to get it corrected in terms of what they got to do defensively, special teams, offense, everything. So we got to get it all fixed in a time that matters.
Coach, from your point of view, what has been the biggest problem playing Southern this year? Like how haven't been competitive and just underperforming on all 3 phases.
And I think the one thing is just getting behind the chains offensively and not being able to execute the plays. I think that's one of the biggest things offensively and defensively. You know, getting off the field on 3rd down. You know, 3rd and long, we got to get off the field. We got to give the ball back to the offense. In the same way, vice versa. Offensively, we got to sustain drives and make sure that defense is getting their rest that they need. Special team, we got to flip the field in terms of what we do special team wise. And I think that what we're going to do is continue to press on with all three phases of the game in terms of what we need to do to get this team to where it needs to be.
How do you keep the players like bought in to finishing out the season strong and that kind of thing?
I got a lot of attention last night. In terms of what I told them and what my expectation was for them in terms of moving forward. The little things that really matters in terms of my coaching, just the small stuff that they got to fix. And I think last night was a pivotal point that where I really got their attention, where all eye was on Coach McNair last night, and not on the water bottles. So we did kind of get a little feedback on them during the course of the meeting. During Coach Banks let Coach Crane speak with the team after that. So a lot of attention.
What's the health status of Jalen Woods on warming up last week?
Well, he's going to be out there. He's going to be with us for a while. He's going to continue to do what he needs to do until he feels comfortable. When you don't have concussion like Jalen Woods, you get kind of serious after about 2 or 3. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. I think Dr. J been doing a great job of monitoring the situation with him. We even got concussion helmets for him to make it better for him, make him feel comfortable as well. That's one of the things that when you sustain a concussion like that, you got to feel comfortable going back out there playing. So because the next time may not be something that you can get up from.
Any more questions from Coach McNair?
What do you say to the fans that may have checked out to try to get them back in with the remaining games on the schedule?
I just encourage them, just to stay with us and stay to the end. No matter how this thing may pan out, you always get some good out of it. And I encourage all of them to keep the season ticket, keep filling the stands, and just come on and be supportive, because these young men, they need to see people in the stands, regardless of wins and losses. I mean, we don't go out there to lose ball games. We go out there with the intention to win each and every one of them. So I just encourage them to stay focused on us and give us an opportunity to come back and on Saturday, be attentive. Got a good ball team coming in at FAMU. We're going to try to win.
Thanks, Coach McNair.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Banks, you want to ask some questions?
Do I have any questions for Coach Banks?
Yeah.
So, speaking with Coach, like we say, he has full autonomy to address his staff the way you want to. I'm not a micromanager in a private space, so whatever adjustments that he needs to make or he want to make, he has all that autonomy to do so. So I don't want nobody to think that this scripted or anything like this. Full understanding that we know his experience and we believe in his experience, and whatever give us our best chance to win under his philosophy, that's what we want to do.
Coach, how do you respond to, I guess, criticism you may get as being the athletic director and kind of just the face of the whole everything over here?
Well, when in the South, in the words of Coach Casson, football is a religion, right? And so you have to be able to stand strong. You have to be confident in the work that you have done, and you have to be able to also accept responsibilities as well and try to correct them. I do think that, and there's always been a plan of action to what we do. We never just make a reaction, a decision just by this is what's going to happen. We look at the plan, and the plan was for Coach Gray, after giving the opportunity that he received after the Bayou Classic. Number one was kids were going in the portal. He had the relationship with the guys that I don't think that we lost anyone to the portal that we didn't want to keep. That was the first step. And so we was able to come back. We fought through it and won our division last year. And so the expectation going into this year that we was going to be that much better. And we had a lot of guys returning. And so preseason-wise, we were picked to be one of the top teams. And so I think the plan was there. What happened in the mix of meeting expectations, I can't really define all that. But we had a clear-cut plan of where we need to be. And also you make decisions, you have to make decisions on what's given to you from the ability of finances and stuff as well. So when you look, there's a certain pool of candidates that cost this much, that much. You know, what are you doing for NILs and all those type of things, and we also thought that with Coach Graves, that he would bring a lot of traction in with all past alumni players and all those, which we did do that. We was able to generate some excitement with that. It's just that, you know, this season, and as I said, it's not about just losing, it's about how you look losing. You know, I like to, you know, I always was taught that you have to have your kids enjoying to compete, right? It's tough, you're tired, but there's a push through. And you like to see guys giving a high five to each other and all those things, and not looking to the side always. You know, when you got your hand out and stuff like that, you're not communicating well what's wrong. And so some type of way instruction made it feel short somewhere. So I don't know all that dynamic, but this is why we're to this point.
Coach, exactly what day and time did y'all come to the decision that y'all was not bringing back Coach Graves?
Well, this conversation has been a long conversation, but obviously yesterday after our meetings, Graves and I, first initial meeting, get my days mixed up, but that night, and then we took it a step further yesterday. Because if we were going to do it, you know, I knew that the time to do it would have to be this week. And in all honesty, we'd have to give whoever was the interim coach now, Coach McNair, we had to give him the time that he needs. And I know game plan and all that, what that means to football. And so we knew today would be the breakout day that we had to get it done on yesterday.
So there was no miscommunication, because Graves went on the SWAC teleconference sounding pretty confident that he would be back. So there was no...
I knew he was on there.
How do you feel about this nationwide coach search? Like, are you guys looking to look outside of the SWAC and look a little bit everywhere? Like, what is your process on that?
So we have done, and my staff, and fundraising, and also commitment from our chairman of the board and our athletic chair and chancellor, that we can widen our look with resources. And so that's going to give us an opportunity. While we're still looking here, that's going to give us an opportunity to open the door. We're going to go get a search firm and work with them and take our time and look for the best person going forward.
Ideally, when would you like to have that decision made?
Well, you know, you got to start recruiting here real soon. So, you know, you can bet, you know, right after Bayou Class or something, we should be ready.
When y'all going, you're looking for your fourth head coach since 2020. You personally, do you feel like you have done enough to do due diligence in your coaching searches for the last 5 years?
I think we felt pretty good about it. I mean, and with that being said, we won outside too. We won out division twice. So, you know, there are a lot of people that don't come close to winning their divisions. And so, you know, they have done that. But I do think that this was different because the expectations were so high and that the game plan was there. So, and not just, once again, not just not winning those games, but the way we competed in those games. I think that's the difference. And so I think we'll go out and we'll put our internal team together along with the external team, the search firm, and we'll bring, you know, like I always do, 5 or 6 names to the table, and we'll talk about those things and what they desire, and we'll come up with the best person for the job.
Do you feel that being a head coach at Southern has a lot of pressure just with the job because of the history that Southern football especially has?
Yeah, no question about it. I think if you're in the South and you're coaching football, that's one thing, but I think if you're at a place like Southern, that's another, right? You know, we have very passionate people about football and the expectations of football, and so we are pledging to give them exactly what they need. The goal is not not necessarily a division champ, but we want to be the champ. We want to go to the Celebration Bowl, and so there's a certain candidate that we think that will meet that criteria as we move forward. And like I say, for me, and for any athletic director, when you can ride your pool, it helps, right, of what you can offer and what you could do. And when you start talking about the expectation that a coach going to come in by how you're traveling, how you're staying, what you're eating, and all those type of things, those are real conversations. And then how much money you have to pay a quarterback right off the bat, right? And so there are some things that we have to do to go get the coach, but there's going to have to be some things in place that haven't been traditional at Southern. And that's my thing, that we're going to have to, do things as business. I mean, you just can't come on the campus and because, we on the bluff and it look nice that a kid going to come here, after we walking around, they see the crowd. That's over with, right? The first thing that they're talking about is where I'm staying and what I get. My parents are going to pay for my parents' hotel rooms. And so there's a whole different dynamic that we have to fall in, and we have to figure that out.
Thank you, Eddie Banks. Thank you.
I'll take his last question.
Going off what Perry was saying, what would be your message to fans that have kind of checked out, kind of like gave up, coming to the games, or how would you?
Well, I would say I've been a coach before, and been on the sidelines, and from a player perspective, that if they need anybody, they need fans now, right? They're trying to get their first win. Coach is taking over, and so you need that extra push when you're not as confident as you've been. You haven't gotten the win, and you're trying to figure things out. Sometimes that home crowd can help you get that win, and that's what we're asking.
I think.
Thanks,
Thank you. First, safety Herman Brister.